I was raped numerous times by my boyfriend, and the university is aware of that, but he's still back on campus.
That was Landon Gamble, one of the students who is up in arms about the university's handling of sexual assault cases.
And still no arrest in the killing of Faith Hedgepeth, but newly recovered DNA may put the police one step closer.
And watch this. PJ Hairston ends up on the floor and with a concussion. We'll have the prospects on his return to the court.
That's the cause for concern.
Carolina Week
Starts now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
Does the university do enough for students who say they're victims of sexual assault? Well, it depends on whom you ask, and it's becoming the latest controversy for the UNC administration. I'm Alex Giles.
And I'm Avery Harper. We have a series of stories tonight on sexual assaults. Students gathered in front of South Building today to protest UNC's sexual assault policies after filing an official complaint with the U.S. Department of Education, along with 4 others. Junior Andrea Pino and other students shared their personal stories and called for reform. Their list of demands includes administrative reviews of Vice Chancellor Winston Crisp, Dean of Students Jonathan Sauls, and Vice Chancellor and General Counsel Leslie Strom. Landon Gamble, now a sophomore, told her personal story and blamed the university for how it was handled.
I was raped numerous times by my boyfriend, and the university is aware of that, but he's still back on campus.
There have been charges and countercharges in recent days on this issue, and the university is striking back. At a Board of Trustees meeting, administrators denied fudging the number of sexual assaults reported, and they defended the school's policy on sexual assault. So what's this all about? Andrea Pino is a junior political science and English major at UNC. Based on her transcript, she looks like she's had the standard college career, but she hasn't. Pino says she was raped last year at an off-campus party.
I never thought it would happen to me. So even though I knew all the signs and knew what it looked like, I never thought I would let that happen to myself.
Pino says she never reported her case. She believes she suffered a concussion and says she doesn't remember many details from the incident. She didn't report the incident to UNC officials either. She doesn't think it would have done any good. Now, she and 4 others are accusing the university of intimidating victims who report sexual assault. Sassby North is the site of the Office of Dean of Students Jonathan Sauls. Andrea Pino told me Sauls is one of the administrators responsible for the faulty sexual assault policy. Sauls declined for an interview, but did release this statement. We do take the issue of sexual assault seriously and have worked hard to respond to allegations of sexual misconduct with a process that is fair, effective, and provides appropriate support and due process to both the accuser and the accused. Pino disagrees. She says students at UNC who report sexual assaults are not treated fairly by the administration.
When reporting, they're heavily questioned and they're victim blamed and told, why didn't they leave before? Why were they drinking? Why did they know what was going on? Why didn't they say no? And there's always that heavy blame on survivors when reporting.
The group recently filed an official complaint about UNC's policies to the U.S. Department of Education. One member of the group is former Assistant Dean of Students Melinda Manning. In a statement, she told me, "My original plan was just to walk away and forget about everything that's happened, but I love Carolina too much to do that. I can't assume that someone else will fix these problems without my input."
This is an issue that needs to be addressed as a much bigger picture than just my story or the individual stories. It's the fact that all of us have been betrayed.
Betrayed or not, Pino says she loves UNC, but she thinks the university can do better. Andrea Pino's official complaint to the Department of Education was leaked and published in a recent edition of the Daily Tar Heel. In a statement, Pino says the release of the information is potentially harmful to her case. As we mentioned, the UNC Board of Trustees says it takes the issue of sexual assault very seriously. Officials maintain that allegations of sexual assault cases being underreported are false. Still, some members of the faculty are reacting. School of Public Health Professor Trudy Bennett and other UNC faculty members are calling for the administration to acknowledge the complaint and review its policies. Assistant Dean of Students Melinda Manning alleging in this official complaint that the university was pressuring her to underreport the number of sexual assault cases. If that were to be the case, how would that make you feel?
If there is any pressure in any way to make the university look better, if that's in conflict with supporting and promoting the best interests in every way possible of the students, then that would be very disturbing.
Bennett and other faculty members want a committee formed to review the university's sexual assault policies as well as past cases.
It has been more than 4 months since UNC student Faith Hedgepeth was found dead in her Durham apartment, and there's still lots of unanswered questions. I talked to a couple of her friends who are working in her memory.
Chelsea Martin is a UNC student and Hollywood-Saponi tribe member. She's still grieving the loss of her friend and fellow tribe member Faith Hedgepeth. So is Shayna Elliott, a UNC junior who says Hedgepeth was one of her close friends. Both are working with other students and organizations to keep Hedgepeth's memory alive.
Faith was just an overall genuinely sweet person, and that's just something no one should ever forget just because, you know, she's gone.
But answers about who killed Hedgepeth and why haven't come.
It's kind of hard to properly grieve when you don't know who did it.
The FBI issued a DNA profile, or a DNA fingerprint, linking evidence to the person they believe to be Hedgepeth's killer, saying the male suspect knew her or lived near her in the past. He may have made comments about her, and his behavior may have changed after the killing. But that isn't enough for Martin or Elliott, who say the police haven't shared enough information with the public.
That's not really telling me anything more than what I already knew.
I just wish that they would just bring information forth.
But investigative experts disagree. They say sharing too much information could negatively affect the investigation, that any misleading or incorrect information could violate a suspect's rights and hurt the case.
It's kind of like we're just at a standstill right now. It's just like we're waiting.
For now, Hedgepeth's friends and family will have to continue to do just that. Wait.
Hedgepeth's family started a scholarship in her name. You can visit any PNC bank in the state for more information on how to donate.
Governor Pat McCrory stirred up a debate around campus today after he took a jab at UNC's Department of Women's and Gender Studies on a radio show. McCrory and radio show host Bill Bennett discussed whether a liberal arts education was important at public universities. When Bennett asked McCrory about the department specifically, the governor said, quote, "If you want to take gender studies, that's fine. Go to a private school and take it. But I don't want to subsidize that if it's not going to get someone a job." McCrory says he is a vocational training advocate and he and his staff are working to draft legislation to reflect this. But how do students feel about the new governor's remarks?
I was outraged.
I don't see how women and gender studies are not an integral part of your education as a socialized being.
Liberal studies, liberal education, and humanities in particular have long been under attack from certain factions, but I think the majority of citizens in North Carolina would disagree with that.
I think it's outrageous that he thinks this major can't get you any jobs, because I'm so excited about what I'm going to do when I graduate. I want to work with domestic violence, and I don't know another major that could teach you about domestic violence on women without a women's studies department.
UNC System President Tom Ross responded to Governor McCrory's remarks. He said the university's value to North Carolina should not be measured by jobs filled alone. Our three-part mission of teaching, research, and public service requires that we prepare students with the talent and abilities to succeed in the workforce, because talent will be the key to economic growth. By the way, Governor McCrory graduated with liberal arts degrees in education and political science, although he did attend a private university.
Will Lyman and
the student body president race is starting up. We'll tell you who's running, at least right now.
Connect with us online by liking the Carolina Week Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Carolina Week UNC.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
The signatures are in, and there are now 3 candidates on the ballot for UNC's student body president. Candidates Christy Landon, Will Lindsay, and Hatali Ladaya were the only candidates to meet the signature requirement of 1,252. The other 2 candidates, Rob Jones and Clevin Cabron, had until 5 p.m. today to collect enough signatures. We checked the Board of Elections, and the new signatures have not been counted.
What's a student body president election without campaign complaints? Rob Jones and Christy Landon filed complaints against Will Lindsay and Hatali Ladaya with the Board of Elections. They accused Lindsay of using an email listserv to gain support from Greek system presidents before he was allowed to begin campaigning. That would violate the rules. Lindsay denies the charges. The claims against Ladaya charge she placed an illegal sign in the pit and violated the rules of dorm storming, which means going through dorms collecting signatures. But Ladaya says all of the claims against her were just misunderstandings. That she's cleaned everything up with the Board of Elections Chair, Shruti Sundram. Sundram says a trial may be set for early next week.
Would you like to take a class at Vanderbilt or maybe Northwestern? Carolina is now a part of Semester Online, a program that will allow students to take classes from other universities. John Daniels reports.
Last year, UNC junior Reese Ademola took a class online, and she says she liked it.
It was great. I didn't have a bad experience with it.
Her class was one of many UNC offers, but starting this fall, students will be able to take online classes from other top universities. UNC is joining Semester Online, a consortium of universities offering online classes for undergraduates worldwide. Head of Semester Online at UNC, Douglas Shackelford, explains the advantage for students.
So UNC students will be able to take courses in those areas, or they may be able to take courses in particular areas that we don't have, we're not currently offering that course.
Universities joining UNC include Duke, Vanderbilt, Northwestern, and 6 others. The courses UNC will offer will come from the business school for now.
The business school's impact has been expanded because there's students all around the world who would probably like to take Keenan Flacker Business School courses, but they can't come to Chapel Hill.
Ademola says taking online classes is a worthwhile option.
If you're the type of student who's open to various styles of learning, then I would definitely suggest taking an online class.
Shackelford says faculty are discussing specific course offerings. In Chapel Hill, I'm John Daniels.
Chancellor Holden Thorpe stepped out of the South Building and into the classroom yesterday to talk to students about the future of education. Thorpe was a guest speaker in Professor Boxall's Ethics, Responsibility, and Justice class. He told students higher education is something that benefits everyone, not just the individual. Thorpe says the most important thing students can do is to promote higher education and convince others that it's important.
If you've tried to play on a cracked racquetball court or experienced a leaky roof in one of your classrooms, those repairs may be a few years away. Like this racquetball court in Fetzer Hall, damaged by water. There's a debt of more than $600 million in deferred maintenance costs at UNC. That means repairs are being delayed. UNC would need between $30 and $40 million per year to handle its backlog. There's a plan in the works to borrow money for this project system-wide, but it must be approved by the Board of Governors at the February meeting and must be approved by the legislature.
There's still no word on what started a fire at a Chapel Hill condominium complex. It happened at University Garden condominiums located on Pritchard Avenue extension off of West Longview Street. 9 different units were damaged in the blaze, and the Red Cross moved residents, like this one, into a local hotel. No one was injured in the fire. The Chapel Hill fire marshal told us it could take up to 1 week to determine the cause. Well, fire or no fire, Avery, this weather has been downright wacky. What's going on?
I don't know, but Drew Date might. Weather's next.
Story idea? Call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. And if you have questions about this program, write to us at Carolina Week, Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Back to Carolina Week, everyone. I'm Drew Day. Thank you so much for staying with us this evening. As we go ahead and take a look at the satellite across the state right now, you can see that we've had plenty of cloud cover across the area today. And you can see just off to the west is where it looks like solid white out here. That's where there's an area of precipitation, heavy, strong thunderstorms. A squall line is setting up, and it's now in progress of pushing through the North Carolina mountains. It will be moving through into our area later on this evening. So you're definitely going to want to be aware of that this evening if you're headed out and about. There are going to be some strong thunderstorms across the region. As we go ahead and take a look at the radar imagery, this is the radar presentation of what's going on as we previously showed you the satellite. Again, you can see that it's all stretching through the North Carolina mountains right now, and it will be moving into central North Carolina later on this evening, right around 7, 8 p.m. And this rain will continue right on through about 2 or 3 a.m. So this will be a long duration, but you can see just right ahead at the leading edge of the thunderstorm complex, you can see there's heavier thunderstorm activity, and so initially when this moves through, it will be strong, it'll have gusty winds, and so you're definitely going to want to watch out for that. Make sure you secure any outdoor items that you have because they will blow away. Because of that, a wind advisory is in effect for practically the entire state for all 100 North Carolina counties, with the exception of 3, Northampton, Hertford, and Bertie counties. They are not in that wind advisory. This wind advisory goes until 4 a.m. So as I said, the rain will last through 2 or 3, but even after the rain passes, it will continue to remain windy out there. So definitely be aware of that this evening. As we take a look at the service map, this is how everything is setting up right now. Again, we had this area of low pressure just off to our west, which is generating those showers and thunderstorms, along with the cold front stretching behind that area of low pressure. As we take a look at tomorrow morning, or excuse me, later on this evening, this is where the cold front will be setting up again just off to our west. So again, the rain will start later on about 8 or 9 p.m. as it moves into the central portions of the state. And then by tomorrow morning, it will have moved on out of here. And so we'll again be seeing some sunny skies across the area. So here's in summary what's going to be going on. Again, the time period is 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. with the main threat being strong and damaging winds across the area. So again, there is the small chance that there could be isolated tornado, but that is not what we're keeping our eye on. It is just mainly the gusty winds. So for tonight, we'll have clear skies across the area, a temperature of 42 degrees. Again, that wind sustained 15 to 20 miles per hour. You probably felt that wind out there today as you were walking around outside, but it could gust 30 to 40 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow morning, partly cloudy skies. Again, the wind still strong. So even if the front and rain clears the area, it will still be quite windy, 50 degrees for tomorrow as our high. But breaking tomorrow down just a little bit further so you know what to expect throughout the day. Expect temperatures to remain mainly in the 40s, again, with that high of 50 degrees. So as we take a look at your 5-day forecast now, again, after a high of 50 tomorrow, we'll cool back down into the 40s, so quite chilly here for the next several days, cloudy skies. We don't really expect any rain, but just below normal temperatures here for the next several days, guys.
Below normal, again, Drew, one day I'm wearing a winter coat, then I'm in shorts, now back to a winter coat.
This is a wild weather pattern, and hopefully here for the next several days it will even out just a bit, so just a coat every day.
Great, thanks, Drew.
All right, you're welcome.
TJ Hairston ends up on the floor with a concussion.
We'll let you know about his status for Saturday coming up in sports.
To you, this is a place to hang a coat. To someone else, it's a place to teach a child a lesson you'll never forget. Preventing child abuse and neglect doesn't just mean reporting it. It means stopping it before it starts. Find out how at preventchildabuse.org or 1-800-CHILDREN. A child is helpless. You are not.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Will Reimer. In sports, you win some, you lose some, and sometimes you do both. That's the story of the basketball team after last night's win against Boston College. Early, the Heels having no problem. PJ Hairston had 14 points in the first 15 minutes, going 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. And then the scary play Tar Heel fans are talking about. Hairston goes up and gets hit by his own teammate Dexter Strickland. Hairston suffers a concussion, not from the hit, but from the whiplash on the way down. He doesn't come back in for the rest of the game, but the Heels maintain a double-digit lead. McAdoo leads all scorers with 17 points to go with his 10 rebounds. Heels win 82-70. Hairston made it back onto the bench and flew home with the team. His status for Saturday's game versus Virginia Tech remains unclear. And against Virginia Tech Saturday, you'll see many fathers with their sons in the Smith Center. But one father and son don't come to watch. They come to work. Julian Caldwell explains.
Junior Denzel Robinson is in his first year on UNC's varsity basketball team, but he's hardly intimidated by the environment. That's because his father, Steve Robinson, has spent 10 years as an assistant coach at UNC, and Denzel has grown up around college basketball.
It's much more fun because I can get away with a few things that other guys can't.
But sometimes Denzel's lifelong experience around college basketball means more is expected of him. Denzel was born in 1991 while his dad was an assistant coach at Kansas under Roy Williams during the Jayhawks Final Four run.
So I always call him, he's our NCAA tournament baby. So, you know, I guess deep down inside, I kind of thought that maybe he'll attach himself to basketball.
Denzel is the only of 4 siblings to play basketball at the collegiate level like his dad. That's brought father and son close together, but also means they've bumped heads a few times.
Went through some rocky time periods. I didn't think he was going to stay with basketball, and I didn't know if I wanted him to stay with basketball.
Denzel admits he sometimes didn't listen to his father's advice, but now that he's part of the team, he's glad he didn't always ignore his dad.
I'm very happy that I decided to listen to you now, sooner than later, and I'm enjoying every experience of this. And you have been a great father and a great coach, and I really appreciate everything you've done for me in my life so far.
And when Denzel doesn't take advice, Coach knows to take it personally.
I would come in and say, Denzel, I'm a college coach. I see this every day. I work with some of the best players. I said, I just don't understand why you don't listen. He said, well, because you're dad first.
And that's how it should be. In Chapel Hill, I'm Julian Caldwell.
Kentucky-Carolina's been a great game over the years. Didn't happen this year, but that's about to change. Not playing this year's game ends a 12-year stretch of annual meetings. Carolina and Kentucky agreed to renew the series next season with a game in the Smith Center on December 14th, 2013. The Heels lead the all-time series 22-13, winning 6 of the past 9 meetings. And UNC has a long list of legendary coaches. Dean Smith and Frank McGuire to name a couple. But don't forget about Coach Bill Guthridge. Coach Guthridge and Dean Smith have never been far apart. Guthridge went to Kansas State, Smith to Kansas.
Our families knew each other. My granddad Guthridge was at Pittsburgh State Teachers College in Kansas, and he was the advisor to Dean Smith's mother.
Guthridge served as Smith's assistant for 30 years, helping Smith win the 1982 and 1993 national championships. He had many opportunities to go elsewhere and take a head coaching job, but he never did.
I made the decision then in the late 70s that I would stay here at North Carolina. My family liked it. The players were always great.
He got his opportunity as a head coach in 1997 after Smith retired, making it to the Final Four in 2 out of his 3 seasons as head coach. Guthridge will be inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame this May.
I was surprised that I got it, and I don't think I necessarily deserved to it.
Well, he deserves to be back with his good friend, Coach Smith, who was inducted more than 30 years ago. Another legendary coach is Carolina's women's soccer coach, Anson Dorrance. His team is celebrating its 22nd national championship. Or is it? Janelle Davis has the story.
For the UNC women's soccer team, winning a national championship is nothing new. This fall, the team won its 22nd national title, And Crystal Dunn says the team already has its sights on next season.
Coming off of a national championship is a great feeling, but we're not taking a rest and we're getting after it. And, waking up early, we're really, acting like as if we didn't win last year.
By 7:45 a.m., the team is already on the field practicing, drill after drill. It becomes clear there's no such thing as an off season for the Tar Heels.
We want every kid to achieve her potential. So everything we do in the spring is to make sure the players individually improve. And so, yeah, we chart everything, we rank everything.
Literally, every drill is counted, recorded, and ranked.
Haberlin climbing out of the 4th division as a goalkeeper.
Coach Dorrance believes everything should be a competition. After coaching the team to 22 national championships, his strategy speaks for itself. He's confident next season will add to the Tar Heel dynasty.
We're certainly going to have a lot of depth. We're going to be fast as lightning. We've got a great attitude in training. We've got excellent leadership. We've got huge talent coming back, but also huge talent coming in.
Dunn is also eager for a repeat next season.
It's a great feeling knowing that, we accomplished what we did last year, but it's not enough to just sit in bed all day and just think about that memory. We have to really get up and work hard and keep going after it so we can win another one next year.
Championship number 23 would have a special significance. That's a very important number for Tar Heel fans. In Chapel Hill, I'm Janelle Davis.
And Alex, 23 is, of course, Michael Jordan's number.
We sure do love that number here at this university, Will. Thank you. This Sunday, the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers.
How local bars are gearing up. Next.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. And if you have questions about this program, write to us at Carolina Week, Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
This Super Bowl Sunday, football fans will spend more than $12 billion across the country, and local businesses want to cash in too. Flyers are out, signs are up, and businesses are ready. But local bar and restaurant owners say most Chapel Hill students will stay home for the big game. That's not going to stop them from trying to attract fans with drink specials, takeout orders, or tailgating events. More than 179 million people are expected to watch the Baltimore Ravens take on the San Francisco 49ers.
I guess with this purple on, I guess we look like Ravens fans, huh?
I'm not rooting for either team. I'm rooting for Beyonce at the halftime show. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully it's a good show all the way around, right?
Yes.
Well, that does it for our show. Have a good evening.
Thanks.